Good day, everyone. Bruce the Boss Brooks coming at you, and I'm actually feeling really good today, despite everything going on in the world and the loss of Chadwick Boseman, aka the Black Panther. Rest in peace or rest in power. Wakanda forever. But what really helped put me in a better mood, at least last night, was as I'm in my place and I'm scrolling for something to watch, I couldn't help but notice I'm on Amazon Prime and I'm going through the popular movies and or what's trending. And one of the movies that was trending on Amazon Prime was 1984. If you're not familiar with what the movie is, it was a 1985, actually, filmed in 1985, an adaptation of the book of the same name, written by George Orwell, about a dystopian society where the government had full control over the population, was able to manipulate them, make them believe lies were truths and truths were lies, tell them what to think, what to believe. 2 + 2 = 5. And there were a few people, despite the manipulation, despite Big Brother's programming and overwhelming surveillance and control, individuals were resisting. And if they were ever caught, the government or power at large would torture them until they were programmed back into the system, and then would televise their dissent, and showing the errors of their ways and how they would gladly give their life for the love of the country. But basically what that means to me, seeing a movie like that trending, 1984, is that we are witnessing a great awakening around the world. People all over, even though you have so many in the media, both mainstream media outlets like NBC, CNN, ABC, and even Fox News will make you, and then social media platforms will try to make you think you're in the minority. I go onto Twitter and all I see is this propaganda being propped up and false narratives. That's the majority of what I see, and they would have you believe this is what truly is. They would try to shape your perception by flooding all of this over the media streams, social and or television. But seeing a movie like 1984 trending, and I remember a month prior, V for Vendetta was trending on Netflix, is that people all over are starting to wake up. They're waking up to the lies, propaganda, watching them telling lies to your vision on the television, pumping fear and misinformation for control. It's also a well-known fact that if you can instill enough fear and trauma to an individual, not only will they gladly give up their rights and their freedoms for a little bit of temporary safety, but inflict enough trauma on them and you can get them to believe whatever it is you want them to believe. And sure enough, I see former high school friends of mine on Facebook posting how they're crying every single day because of what they see on the television. So I am glad to see so many people are actually secretly, in many cases, waking up to the Matrix, waking up to the lies and the propaganda of what's going on. Yes, there is a real virus out there, but it's like so much of everything else we're being told about it is falsehoods for control and manipulation and to create a herd. But we're not buying it no more. We're not buying this idea that we are all subjected to great physical harm and or death from a virus that, even with inflated numbers, even when they tell you, even with these inflated numbers, we are still seeing the overwhelming majority of these individuals succumbing to it are people over 60, i.e. their health is declining already, compromised immune system, not able to as easily fight a tough respiratory disease like this. And then for anyone else under 60, are again overwhelmingly, like 90%, people with compromised immune systems. And yet they're locking everyone down and making you all feel afraid. I remember seeing memes about how this girl decided, okay, it's okay to go outside and get me a slice of pizza. Born 1984, died 2020, as if this thing is attacking people of that age group. I'm seeing them spread, despite the fact that 29 countries around the world have already reopened schools, although Sweden never closed the schools for anyone under 16. And MSNBC, I think it was, a month ago, had on a whole host of pediatricians getting their opinion on the concept of returning back to school in this country. And they all said, yes, I would send my kid back to school based upon the information we have. And the anchor, like, that's not the answer we wanted. It was all on his face. And they keep saying, follow the science. And they're doing the exact opposite when the science doesn't match them. And you're seeing people waking up to this. They're seeing the negative effects of the lockdown, psychological trauma, as they're trying to turn this planet into a prison planet, turning your home into a makeshift jail cell. They're not having it. So that was really inspiring to see. Inspiring to see people not buying the false narrative that these riots and looting going across our country are a peaceful protest. I love how CNN had the gall to do a report on the ground in Kenosha describing the scene as peaceful protests. Meanwhile, the buildings and cars behind the anchor are all burning. They're not having it anymore. We're not buying this false narrative. And we're not going to allow these terrorists to destroy and overrun our cities. Yes, police brutality is real, but not the propaganda that you are trying to prop up. And you're delegitimizing what is a real issue when it does happen. But the cases that you're propping up in front of us and getting people riled up are not worth it. And we're seeing who's allowing the cities to be destroyed. We're seeing who's allowing their cities to be overrun with crime, violence, chaos. And you're having more and more citizens like Kyle Rittenhouse step up and saying, you know what, if you're not going to stop this and protect our communities and our country, we're going to do it. We're seeing apparently so much so that even the liberal mouthpiece himself, Don Lemon, said, hey, oh no, we got to stop, because now it's showing up in the focus groups that apparently Trump's numbers are surging. People are waking up. And so I'm really glad to see that. Again, I've said it before on other posts, but we really are living in the apocalypse. Not end of the world, final battle, cataclysmic destruction apocalypse. No, I mean the original meaning of apocalypse, meaning revelation of a great truth. And the truth is, much of what we've been believed was a lie. We've been put into this programming through the school systems, through the entertainment programming, television programming. Big Brother doesn't really care about us. Policies that are really designed for control and to keep people subjugated, and divisiveness. We ain't having it. We also cherish our freedom and our liberties. We don't want someone telling us when we can and cannot go back to work. or dictating what business is or is not okay to frequent. We should be able to make up our own decisions and accept the risk that we are willing to take for ourselves. So I'm glad to see that. I'm glad to see more and more people stepping up. I'm glad to see things like that trending. And so we just need to keep getting our voices out there, let our voices be heard, keep raising the vibrations in this world, and giving people an option between the red pill and that blue pill. The blue pill is great. Ignorance is bliss. Best to just go along to get along. Someone once said, "Ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you mad." It's not pleasant. But again, glad to see that we are living in a changing world, seeing people stepping up and speaking out for what is right and against what is wrong, against the lies and the misinformation. So that's all I wanted to share. So just be inspired to know that you are not the only ones out there. That there is, in fact, a silent majority who also sees through the BS and the propaganda. And they're saying, we ain't having it no more. So again, that's all I wanted to say in today's message. So again, if you like, please don't forget to hit the like button, share, and most importantly, subscribe. And I'll talk to you again soon.